Ladies and gentlemen, holy shit in Toledo, man. I just watched AEW Dynamite. This is your May 11th, 2022 review. And boy, guys, I gotta say, that was a heck of a fucking show. The main event was great, but the ending, damn, they fucked up the damn ending. Why do they have to go with Jeff Hardy doing that damn roll-up pinfall? I mean, that absolutely sucked. Darby Allin hits a fucking coffin drop off the top rope, gets the 1, the 2, and then out of nowhere, Jeff Hardy slides Darby Allin over on his back, where his shoulders are pinned to the mat for a 3 count. And I'm going, what the fuck? So now they have Jeff Hardy moving on to the next round of the tournament for the Owen Hart tournament with Adam Cole and Jeff Hardy going at it next week. That sucks. I really hate that. That really pisses me off, man. Everything else, though, about the show is great. I had a fucking blast watching this. This show went by so fucking quick, I wanted another hour. I really was enjoying myself. Adam Cole advanced. He won his match against Dax Hardwood by a sharpshooter. Dax Hardwood suffered some issues with his rib cage. I don't know if it was legitimate or it's just he was just selling a so-called injury. But the match was good. Good opener to the show. I enjoyed that. We had CM Punk going up against John Silver, which was a fun, entertaining matchup. John Silver actually did well in the match. There was one spot in the match that he fucked up, John Silver. He tried to leap on top of the second turnbuckle and kind of slipped. And CM Punk had to kind of I guess help him up so they could do the tornado DDT, which really looked terrible. The audience kind of booed, and they didn't really like that spot so much. They thought that was a little fucked up, which anybody with a brain in their head could tell that was a botched spot. Plus, CM Punk decided to go ahead and wear a New York Islanders jersey in front of a Long Island crowd. What a fucking prick. I was like, when I saw CM Punk come out with that damn jersey, and I'm like going, dude, get that fucking jersey off and wear a Blackhawks jersey. What the heck's wrong with you? You live in Chicago. Wear a Blackhawks jersey. JD from New York 206, he has a friend named Jesse who lives in Chicago. And I can only imagine what Jesse's going to say about that. That probably is going to be hilarious. I'm going to go ahead and hear what he has to say because I think I'm going to get a big laugh out of that. Yeah, it kind of made CM Punk look like a fucking turncoat on his own Chicago crowd. But it was only in a sarcastic way that he was wearing that jersey. He didn't really care for the fucking New York Islanders. How could he? New York Islanders suck. So do the Rangers, man. I've been a fucking New York Rangers fan for a long time, and man, do they know how to give up a fucking good opportunity when they got it. Thank God the Yankees are doing good. I'm happy about that. You guys may think I'm from New York, but I'm actually not. I'm from Miami, Florida. I live here in St. Petersburg / Tampa Bay area, which St. Pete's right across the bridge from Tampa, so I'm right nearby Tampa anyway. Yeah, I am a Floridian, unfortunately. Been trying to goat my friend Matt 87 Eagle into coming with me to a show of AEW anywhere in Madison Square Garden if that was to ever happen, or even go to a Double or Nothing in Las Vegas. And he doesn't want to go to either one of them. And he's an AEW fan. What the fuck is that shit? Damn WWE shill. Just kidding around with you, Matt. Shit, man. This was a good show. I really can't deny them of that. There was some good action that occurred during this show. There was some good segments as well. Uh, we had Jericho come out and cut a good promo about Long Island, saying, I was actually born here in Long Island. I'm one of the other people besides MJF who was born here, but I decided I'm going to leave this shithole place and go somewhere else. And the fans booed him, and he said, come on, guys, this place sucks. It's a dump hole. Yeah, it was really a funny segment. Plus, we also had Jon Moxley show up during that segment, and he went ahead and was acting as if he was going to attack the entire JAS alone, but actually, he had a couple of friends with him. Not just a couple, he had his entire Blackpool Combat Club, along with Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. So it was a 6-on-5, and not to mention good old William Regal stuck his nose in there for the ending portion of this little brawl that they had, and knocked out Chris Jericho with the power of the punch without the brass knucks. It was fucking beautiful. And I was just thinking to myself when I saw that, I was thinking of Mauro Ranallo going ahead and going, "Oh, mamma mia, he just knocked him out." Because he does commentary for boxing now since he's out of the wrestling realm. And man, do I miss his commentary. He has such an entertaining and just a great commentary voice that you can't like not want to hear him. I mean, he has such an entertaining voice. He brings out the best in all shows. Even if a show sucks, his voice will make it so damn good that you won't even care that the show sucks because he's talking and doing the commentary. So he enhances the entire show. Unfortunately, he ain't in AEW. I wish AEW would sign his ass. They dish out money here and there to other talents, but they won't give a contract to Mauro Ranallo to do commentary for AEW. Hell, just do commentary for the 4 major pay-per-views every year. I would be fine with that. But unfortunately, we don't see Mauro Ranallo in AEW. Tony Khan has not. I don't know what the deal is about Tony Khan and not wanting to go after a guy like Mauro Ranallo to do commentary for a pay-per-view even on a quarterly basis. I mean, it won't interfere with Mauro Ranallo's commentary because he works on Saturdays, and AEW's been doing their pay-per-views on Sundays off of a weekend where there's a holiday. So, I mean, it's great. And by the way, guys, I will be doing Double or Nothing live after the pay-per-view is over because Memorial Day is the day after that. On May 29th, we will be doing that live after the show is over. But it'll probably drain into the 12 o'clock hour, so we'll be doing it at 12 o'clock in the morning. So, everybody, you don't have any excuses. You're off from work. Most of you anyway, if you're doing like retail or shit like the restaurant business, I'm certain you guys all have to work that day. So if you guys have to work that day, understandable. But any of you other guys like you, Matt, I know you don't work on a fucking Memorial Day. You got the day off, so you better be there or be square, motherfucker. Man, I'm just terrorizing my friend on this damn video tonight. But anyway, man, let's get into this review a little bit. I've already caught you guys up on what happened in the first couple of segments. So let me go in order here. Like I said, Adam Cole beat Dax Hardwood in a solid, entertaining opener to the show. Very fun match. The next thing that took place on this show, I believe, was CM Punk versus John Silver, and of course CM Punk won the match by going ahead and winning the match anyway. and picked up the victory. He, I believe, won with a buckshot lariat, and he connected with that maneuver on John Silver to get the victory, pinned him for the 1-2-3, and then Adam Page, he was fucking pissed. He went ahead, he got up out of the commentary booth, and he walked down the ring, and he was pissed, and he looked at CM Punk directly in the eyes, pressing their faces up against each other. Very old school like confrontation back in the day in the Attitude Era and in the Ruthless Aggression Era even. We would see the two combatants that are ready to go for a world title shot leading into a pay-per-view, and you'd see the two guys butting heads with each other talking a lot of shit. And that was very old school. You hardly ever, I don't think I've seen that in forever, man. Jeez, that was so fucking cool. Just that image alone was cool as fuck. But this time around, CM Punk did most of the talking instead of Adam Page. He kind of just stood there and listened. And Punk just basically said this. He said, look, man, I ain't doing this for personal reasons. I'm not looking to, really take your title for a personal reason. This is just business. I'm not here to, steal your spotlight. You're just carrying something that I want, and I have to go through you. That's all this is. This has nothing to do with me disliking you in any way. But at the end of the day, when this match is over at Double or Nothing, whether you're conscious or not, you're going to shake my hand, and I'm going to make you. And that's all there is to it. So he was responding to the comments that were made last week about Hangman Page saying that he's not going to shake his hand at Double or Nothing. He knows this is the biggest match of his career, and he is going to beat the holy hell out of CM Punk. He has no intentions of shaking his hand for any reason at all. His attitude is real simple. I'm going in there to destroy CM Punk and retain my world championship. The way this whole thing has been going, I'm really, really wanting to see Adam Page retain the championship. As crazy as that sounds, and I know that CM Punk is the definite odds-on favorite to win the damn title anyway, but I would still love to see Hangman Page win this match. Granted, the way this tournament is looking, I do believe Adam Cole is going to win that tournament. He's going on to face the world champion again. He's going to get a third opportunity, I believe, and he is going to lose again. And this time it ain't going to be against Hangman Page. It's going to be against CM Punk. So that is where this is all leading to. I was very disappointed by the ending of that Jeff Hardy-Darby Allin match. I was figuring Darby Allin was going to win the entire tournament, and it was going to be Adam Cole versus Darby Allin in the finals at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. But unfortunately, because of the brackets, they would have been facing each other next week on Dynamite, which to me doesn't make a lot of sense to do at all. So maybe in a sense they did the right thing by making Jeff Hardy win, but they could have orchestrated the brackets around to where it favored the idea of having Darby Allin and Adam Cole face each other at the finals. Now, maybe they were trying to go for a swerve on everyone. Maybe they were trying to spice things up, make things not so obvious. If that's the case, I totally understand that. But let's be real. Sometimes predictable is okay. I mean, Darby Allin, Adam Cole, I don't believe has ever happened on... They've never had a match, I don't believe. I might be incorrect about that, but bottom line, these two guys facing each other in the finals at a pay-per-view would have been a buy for me, 100%. Not that I'm not saying I wouldn't buy the pay-per-view anyway, despite the fact that this is not going to happen at all. But it would have been an add-on to what we're getting on this card. It would have made the card even stronger than it already is. So that's just my thoughts on that. So the next segment on the show is actually Britt Baker having a backstage segment interview about her feelings with Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter. She feels very confident Jamie Hayter will move on to the next round of this tournament and defeat Toni Storm. She also talks about the Joker, wild opponent that she has, that she is not certain who that is going to be at this the next, I believe it's next week's episode on Dynamite. She's not certain who that's going to be. I'm not even quite certain who that's going to be, unless it's Amber Moon as Athena. That could be a possibility. I think if they go ahead and they get Athena in there, I don't know, maybe a rough shot for Athena would be a great idea for good old publicity. You know, saying, hey, to fuck you to WWE for saying the shit they've said about AEW and the way they treat women's wrestlers. So that's a possibility of, you know, something to think about. I'm not sure. I don't think that Britt Baker is, I mean, she's not a bad choice. She's a safe choice to go with at this point, being that she is one of the top billing in the women's division in AEW. She cuts the best promos. She has good matches. Sometimes she has duds. It happens to anybody. But bottom line, she definitely is a safe go-to person, at least with this tournament. But I wouldn't go with that. I'd go out of your safety zone. I think they should make it unpredictable and go for somebody else. Toni Storm would be a good one, possibly. But I'm gonna just, you know, keep my hands off of this. This is a very hard tournament to predict. Adam Cole, I believe, is very easy to predict. I think he's going to be the guy to win this whole fucking thing. So that's where I'm going to go with this. The other idea, though, with the tournament, I just thought about this while saying this. Samoa Joe's in this tournament. Who's to say Samoa Joe wins the tournament, beats Adam Cole at Double or Nothing in the finals, and we get to see CM Punk versus Samoa Joe face each other in a Ring of Honor type of situation where Samoa Joe and CM Punk compete over the AEW World Championship. That would be a hell of a deal, but there's a small problem. There was discussions about Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satin Singh wanting to get their hands on Samoa Joe after this tournament is over. So that's a possibility that we may not see Samoa Joe come anywhere near the AEW World Championship. But I wouldn't mind seeing Samoa Joe versus CM Punk, because those two faced each other at Ring of Honor before, back in the early days when they were starting out, and I never got to see those kinds of matches. So I wonder if they could do anything similar to what they did in Ring of Honor. That would be pretty damn cool. But I'm going to say Adam Cole at this point until I see different, but I'm pretty certain it's going to be Adam Cole, and Adam Cole will be facing CM Punk for the World Championship later on in the future. Alright, so the next match that took place was Danhausen going against Tony Nese. Tony Nese did not have an entrance, just Danhausen. And Danhausen, I can't stand him. He looked like a fucking jobber tonight. Danhausen do a fucking thing. He lost in 30 seconds. Would have needed the face in the corner and then a pin for a 1-2-3. That's how this fucking match ended. It was that quick. If you blink, you missed it. This was a shit match. This is something you could have skipped if you were falling behind and you DVR'd it or some shit. But I'll tell you what, this match was fucking garbage. The only thing that they're doing anything right is with Hook. Hook is making the saves to Danhausen. Danhausen looks like a little fucking douchebag, but I'm not liking this pairing between Danhausen and Hook. I really don't care for Danhausen at all. I don't find anything entertaining about him. I can understand other people might find something out of the character with Danhausen, but I don't particularly see any need for Danhausen to be on AEW television. I really don't. I didn't like him in Ring of Honor. I don't like him here. I have not liked him from day one. His character is completely fucking retarded. So, I like Malachi Black a hell of a lot better. Let's get him on television. Let's show him and get him more exposure like he first did when he got on television. That was the Malachi Black that I was interested in. That was like Aleister Black in NXT. And now he's gone right back to the fucking shitter like he was on the main roster in WWE. This is fucking bullshit, folks. I want to see Malachi Black on TV. The guy deserves it. He's a fucking entertaining performer, and he's a lot like The Undertaker in certain aspects, and he deserves a lot better than this. Definitely a lot better. I mean, you got Samoa Joe, of all people, who's a fucking older dude than Malachi Black, and Samoa Joe is on television week after week after week. Malachi Black sits in the tomb of nowhere, and nobody hears from him or knows from him at all. He makes a few appearances once in a blue moon, every couple of weeks, maybe once a month, and that's it. And then we never hear from him again. This whole thing with Malachi Black absolutely fucking sucks. That is one rant I will have to say I feel is needed on this review. You got Danhausen, but you're going to take off Malachi Black. You can't even give Malachi Black a 2-minute segment cutting a promo in the middle of the ring instead of this bullshit. And Tony Nese, man. Tony Nese deserves a lot better than this. What about a match with fucking Pac or something? Or even with Hook, for that matter. Apparently, Tony Nese is getting a tag team match in the pre-show with Hook and Danhausen against Sterling. I believe his first name's Mark Sterling. He's Mark Sterling, the lawyer, is teaming with Tony Nese. What a fucking joke match that is. I would have been fine with just Tony Nese versus Hook in a one-on-one match. What the hell are they putting Hook in a tag team match with Danhausen? What a fucking joke. That I didn't like either. I thought that was kind of stupid. But whatever. I mean, I'll take it for what it is. It's halfway to what I was saying. You know, Hook versus Tony Nese singles match. They just happen to add the lawyer and Danhausen in the mix as a tag team match. So, I mean, we'll still get to see Hook perform. He'll probably be doing most of the legwork on his team anyway. And same for Tony Nese. So, it's just a way of cutting down their ring time so that they'll have more time to sit on the side and not take a chance of injury. I guess you could look at it that way. Anyway, moving on here. Hook actually went ahead and made the save after Tony Nese was going ahead and doing quite a few knee shots in the corner afterwards when the match was over. And Hook made the save and then shook Danhausen's hand after Danhausen extended his handshake to Hook. I don't understand this pairing. Still, I do not understand the pairing. I don't understand what in the fuck point is this. Outside, I'd like to see Hook just fucking annihilate and decapitate Danhausen's fucking head from his body. That's all I'd like to see at this point. But hey, it is what it is. We got Hook on TV. He's being shown every single week. He's getting some kind of airtime and publicity. I'm okay with it. So, I'm not going to completely complain or shit all over it. But, anyway, moving on from there, we had MJF segment with Wardlow. Man, was this fucking good. This was great. MJF cutting a promo on being a Long Islander and calling, and, you know, admitting he's a Jew, which we all know. He already mentioned this once before in a promo a while back. And he says, he's asking the crowd not to stand up, and he's winking at the crowd, telling them don't go ahead and stand up and start booing him so loud he can't cut his own promo on the mic. Let Wardlow speak. And he gives them the wink wink. And he says, I'm also talking to you guys in the cheap seats. I know that you guys are poor, but it's okay. You're still wonderful people. Like, what the fuck? He's insulting his own crowd, and they're loving it anyway. They're fucking cheering for the crazy son of a bitch. I'm like, damn, dude, this is awesome. So he goes ahead, and Wardlow grabs the microphone. Whole fucking Long Island crowd boo him out the fucking building. You want to talk about freaking loyalty, man. Damn, Miz ought to take a couple of notes, because when he was in Cleveland, he shit on his own fucking crowd. His own people said Cleveland sucks and left for Los Angeles to go pursue a new home and call that home. What a fucking asshole. At least MJF had some kind of respect for his own fucking people in New York, man. This guy, man, Miz is a fucking douche and a loser, man. He ain't anywhere the level of MJF. MJF is the fucking shit of all shit. By the way, I saw during this promo a sign that says AEW is MJF. You damn right about that sign right there, man. That was one heck of a truthful sign. He is the future of AEW. But he keeps throwing these little jabs, these little comments. Well, on January, he threw a comment in the promo tonight even. He says, the guy back there on January of 2024 is going to be really sweating it. I'm like, oh, shit. And the fucking fans acknowledge the comment, too. I'm going, oh, man, is he really going to milk the shit out of this idea that he may go to WWE? Come on, man. You actually think we're that dumb? You couldn't cut these kind of promos in WWE? Are you serious? Now, if WWE was smart, if they were smart and they had the opportunity, and I'm not a WWE fan, you guys know this, if you guys follow me on a week-to-week basis, but if you're new, I'm not a WWE fan. I used to be, until they decided to turn into a bunch of fucking smiling douchebags who make everyone have to talk on a fucking, on a mic and read a bunch of shit off of a script, like as if they're doing a fucking movie. And by the way, it's a terrible movie on a week-to-week basis, and not to mention they're always smiling, and there's no anger in their eyes or in their face or nothing. It's just complete and utter, look at me, I'm smiling. No, fuck you and your smiles. I want to see some attitude, some aggression. Ruthless aggression? That era and the Attitude Era? Come on, what the fuck's your problem, man? Two of the best eras in WWE. After that, it went dead. And it just got progressively worse as time went on. What a fucking joke. I mean, even Roman Reigns is sick and tired of working in the damn company. He wants to become a Hollywood actor, man. Not that I blame him. He's got a lot more to offer than working for this shit. I mean, he's fucking top of the line, and everyone else is treated like dog shit. If I was him, I'd been gone like a year or two ago. Fuck them, man. But anyway, but if WWE was smart, and they really wanted to get their fans back, getting guys from AEW and allowing them to do what they did in AEW and have them do it in WWE would probably be the smartest thing Vince McMahon could ever do. I mean, really, it would be the smartest thing. If he's really smart, he ought to be watching AEW and seeing how these guys cut promos and seeing how they interact with one another. And actually, and I mean this wholeheartedly, stop saying they're not competition. He doesn't even have to say they are competition or they're not competition. None of that. Learn about your opponent and squash him like a fucking bug. He's playing topsy-turvy with these motherfuckers. And he's playing like a little game. Like, hey, I'll just do whatever the hell I want while his ratings continue to crash. Once in a while, they go back up for a small period of time, but then they go right back down again. But give me a break, man. You have the talent. You have the ability to make your show as good, if not better. They've been around longer than any wrestling promotion in the world. They have the most money outside of AEW. AEW has a lot of their money because of the Khan family being rich as fuck, not because of them being in business for a very long time. That's why we see them having such a bulk of superstars working in their company. And then you also, on top of that, have a shitload of, production value that almost equals the same as WWE in some sense. And that is the reason why AEW is where they are. That's why they got the TNT deal. That's why they're making close to 1 million viewers per week. They should be making over that, but for some whacked out reason, people are not really wanting to tune in on a on a consistent basis, I should say. But that's not here or there. It doesn't really matter about the ratings. It matters about the consistency of the television. The television is real simple, guys. They produce good shows. Sometimes they produce a dud, and it happens. It happens to everybody. Definitely happens to WWE on a regular basis. But hey, they're an easy target. You can insult them all day and all night because they just don't give a fuck. That's all there is to it. But anyway, let's move on with the MJF segment. So Wardlow tries to cut a promo. He's interrupted, and MJF says, well, apparently the crowd don't want to hear the war piggy say what he wants to say. So let's just get down to business and you go ahead and sign this contract. Before he has him sign the contract, he gives him the stipulations. There's 2 stipulations to the whole situation. First off, he has to be whipped 10 times. Wow, this sounds very similar to Cody Rhodes. By the way, he mentions Cody Rhodes in the fucking promo. So, he actually will be whipping his ass 10 times with a belt. So, that's another ripoff from a storyline that he did with Cody Rhodes in the very beginning of AEW. Alright, fine. Then he throws a big nut into the whole entire thing. This really is going to be interesting. How Wardlow is going to get out of this, because they go very old school on this. This has not been done since, I believe, the Attitude Era or even the Ruthless Aggression Era. But we are going to see Wardlow versus Shawn Spears inside of a steel cage. Now, he starts laughing. He says, it's alright, I'm totally cool with it. And yada, yada, yada. And he goes ahead and he looks at Wardlow and he says, hey, War Pig, you're 0-2 in steel cage matches, so I wouldn't be, all up in arms here and getting all excited about this match. And on top of it, I'm going to be the special guest referee. Whoa, this is going to be interesting how they try to make this different from all the rest of the old school days when we used to see endings towards these kinds of matches with a special guest referee that is biased towards the wrestler in the match. So it should be interesting how this all goes down. I don't know how it's going to work, but it should be interesting how it works. So it should be entertaining. Following that, we had Wardlow having trouble trying to sign this contract. So MJF, I don't know where he got where he left his brains at during this segment, but I would have said, fuck you. If you can't sign a contract, you ain't having a match. That's what I'd have done. Fuck you. But he allowed him to get the handcuffs taken off so he could sign the contract. Shawn Spears had enough brains to recommend him not to do that, but MJF being a cocky son of a bitch, thinking he's better than everybody else, he said, no, it's okay, we're going to go ahead and do this anyway, and he ain't going to attack us. And he goes ahead and he signs the contract, and as he's going ahead and he's getting the handcuffs put on him, he attacks the AEW staff and throws them around like rag dolls, eventually trying to get to MJF. MJF manages to get out of the ring, and at this point, Sterling was actually there, the lawyer, and he goes ahead and attacks him since he was actually in the ring. He grabs the table, he picks it back up, and he power bombs this sumbitch right through the fucking table, like as if he's Batista power bombing Triple H through a table during a contract signing from 2005 leading into WrestleMania 21. I mean, this is downright fucking insane. It looked like an exact copycat of that, but hell, I'll take it. I don't care. It looked fucking cool as shit, and man, was it powerful. So that is what happened in that segment. The next match after that was actually Jungle Boy versus Ricky Starks for the FTW World Championship. This was, whatever. I mean, it was a good match. It was nothing to cry home about, but it was not a shabby match. It was pretty good. And Ricky Starks retained the championship. Actually, Swerve Strickland got involved in this match. Not that he tried to screw Jungle Boy out of the match against Ricky Starks, but the problem is that Swerve Strickland should have never been there at ringside, but he was trying to be supportive of Jungle Boy, but the referee wanted him to get out of the ringside area and go back up the ramp and go backstage pretty much at this point, so there wouldn't be any kind of screw job finish. Jungle Boy actually had him rolled up in a nice pinfall that looked like it was going to lead to a victory for Jungle Boy, but unfortunately the referee was distracted. Jungle Boy had to let go of the hold and pinfall because the referee wasn't there, so it was pretty much pointless. He was telling the referee, hey man, get back in the ring, don't worry about Swerve. And he's looking at Swerve going, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're costing me the match. And he's going, look, man, I'm not trying to do nothing, that kind of thing. And it was a complete fuck up by Swerve, costing Jungle Boy the match. Ricky Starks hits his finishing maneuver and gets the 1-2-3 for the finish and retains his FTW championship. Keith Lee actually shows up during this segment. Another man who's getting a lot of getting a segment here and there every single week, either on Dynamite or Rampage, and he's being utilized more and more than Malachi Black. Again, I'm going to go back to Malachi Black. Malachi Black was doing probably the best work in the beginning, middle portion of 2021, just when we were starting to get back on the road. He was doing some good stuff. And then all of a sudden, that was all derailed after the loss to Cody Rhodes. Thank you, Cody, for fucking that up. And then leaving AEW to go to the shithole in Stamford, Connecticut. Thanks a lot. Hope they do you well, because I wouldn't trust them worth a continental shit. Anyway, moving on here, Keith Lee came in. He made kind of evened out the odds. They were going to attack Swerve in the middle of this. Christian Cage was upset with Swerve as well, by the way. He came down the ring to check on Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy was pissed off about what happened. Christian Cage was upset with Swerve. We may see Swerve versus Christian Cage, which I would be totally fine with that match on like a Dynamite or Rampage episode. I think that would be a really solid match to watch. And Christian hasn't really wrestled all that much lately. I think he wrestled maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. But anyway, that's how that segment ended. We then had the JAS Society, Jericho Appreciation Society, cut a promo. I've already went over that. So I'm not going to go over it again. And then we also had a small little promo of Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian. That match will be taking place on Rampage this Friday. That should be a really good match. I hope it turns out to be well. I just don't want to see Frankie Kazarian win this TNT championship. I don't think he needs it. I think this is just a good match, tune-up match for Scorpio Sky for his title defense. And that's pretty much all this should be at this point. Scorpio Sky should remain the TNT champion for a while, by like maybe the fall or winter. By like November, I think Full Gear would be the proper place for him to drop the championship. And the guy who I'd have him drop it to is Miro. I think Miro should win the title back when he gets back onto AEW television. He should get several wins under his belt leading into this pay-per-view of Full Gear this coming year in November, and then win it from Scorpio Sky then. That's what I would do. It's just my thoughts on that. I think Miro was one of the better champions that deserved a lot better than what he got at the end of his little run as the champion. So, just my thoughts on that. Anyway, moving on, we had Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter in the Owen Hart Women's Tournament for the first round. Jamie Hayter loses the match. There was a little bit of botches that took place during this match, especially at the end. Toni Storm was having some problems with Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter was supposed to help out with the pile driver, but unfortunately lost her footing, and she almost fell the wrong way. Toni Storm looked like she was pretty banged up from this match. These ladies did a decent job during the match itself. Just the ending had a little bit of botches taking place at the end. So, I mean, I think they might have been aching over the pain they were suffering from in the middle of the match. That may have been a cause of the issue. I'm not for certain. But I will say that the match wasn't bad at all. It was a decent women's match, at least from what we get on a week-to-week basis by AEW. So I won't make any major rant on that at all. It was definitely better than the Ring of Honor Women's Undisputed Championship match from last week. That was a fucking travesty and a load of crap. One of the worst main events of AEW Dynamite I've ever seen in my life. That was trash beyond belief. Anyway, moving on. We then had the main event. The main event was Darby Allin, Jeff Hardy in a no-holds-barred match. This was announced earlier in the show that this match would be no-holds-barred. Anything goes. And folks, these guys did everything, if anything, to each other. I mean, literally, if the only thing missing from this match was a fucking kitchen sink. That's the only thing they were missing. And a stop sign. Yes, how can we forget the stop signs from back in the old ECW, WWF Attitude Era days, man? When we used to get hardcore matches, we'd see stop signs. We'd see cookie trays used in the middle of these matches. We pretty much got it all, man. We had it all in these matches. That was the only thing missing in this match was pans, fucking, stop signs, and the kitchen sink. That was the only thing missing from this entire matchup itself. One of the worst, and I'm not meaning by any means bad when I say the worst, but one of the most terrible, most scary moves or spots on this match was the move that Darby Allin did off the top of a fucking ladder. Folks, this was the most deranged, insane thing. It made Jeff Hardy look normal. Compared to what Jeff Hardy used to do back in the day. I mean, Jeff Hardy used to climb on a ladder, do a swanton bomb through his opponent through a table. This crazy motherfucker, he's climbing on a 20-foot ladder inside the ring, going from the top of that ladder in the ring, which makes it even higher. I think close to maybe another 5 feet, so 25 feet in the air total. And then on top of that, he's not landing on Jeff Hardy on top of a table. He's landing on top of Jeff Hardy with a stack of chairs, 4 chairs on either side. So a total of 8 chairs pressed up against each other. And he's landing on top of Jeff Hardy 25 feet in the fucking air down to the floor, landing on top of Jeff. And they're both landing on top of the chairs too. I swear to God, if I didn't know any better, I thought Darby Allin broke his fucking spine and his career was over. I mean, literally, the poor son of a bitch looked like he was trying to kill himself. I mean, this was nuts. Beyond belief. This match was crazy. But again, like I said earlier in this video, they ended it with a roll-up pinfall to counteract the pinfall that Darby Allin was doing after the coffin drop off the top rope. So I'm like, oh man, really? They had to go that route? And this was actually done immediately after Jeff Hardy landed spine first onto an exposed steel steps that Darby Allin was laying on. He moved out of the way, and Jeff Hardy was doing a swanton bomb off the top of the top rope onto the steel steps. And he manages to be able, after a coffin drop and a missed swanton bomb from onto the steel steps, he's going to manage to counteract a pinfall after a finisher by Darby Allin. It makes no fucking sense to me. I'm still scratching my head from the ending. That was insane. But with all that being said, that was an amazing match. That was fun as fuck. And man, if it was up to me, I'd love to see him do it all over again. Just with a different result this time. Because the result was just absolutely terrible. But that's pretty much it, guys. So that is the review. That is all I have to say here at this time. So if you like this video, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button, of course. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, if you're not, I don't know why you haven't subscribed yet. But if this is the first time viewing this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We upload videos every single week. At least 4 or 5 videos per week. As well as some good old WWE rants, because I love to do those rants every once in a while. It helps out the channel anyway, and besides, you guys seem to love when I do those rants anyhow, because WWE deserves it, and we all know it. But anyway, leave a comment down below on anything you'd like to talk to me about, and I will definitely respond back immediately after you leave that comment, and give you guys my full-on opinion about things that you want to talk to me about, and I will definitely respond back to. I thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you have a great night, guys. P.S., by the way, guys, we will be doing Random Wrestling Talk episode number 17 tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, p.m. So keep an eye out for the update on that. I will be sending you a scheduled time frame for tomorrow after I'm done with work, so you guys will have a 3-hour notification of that, so keep your eyes out for that. And I thank you guys again for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.